There's not enough money to make ends meet. But now I wear a smile where there is 1570 AM and W298BX 107.5 FM, Winterville, North Carolina. WNOS 1450 AM and W272EK 102.3 FM, licensed to New Bern, North Carolina.
Motivations with Glenn.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU. Can you hear the audio? I don't hear the audio.
I hear you.
You hear?
I hear you.
Okay. We have a special guest today to conclude our topic on Black History 2026. Her name is Miss Christine Cherry. And co-host Jacqueline Cullins, introduce herself, and then introduce our special guest.
Hey, Dr. Glenn, and to our listening audience on today. I'm not sure, Dr. Glenn, that I hear any audio with me. Do you hear me? Well, maybe we can ask our listening audience today if they can hear us. Because I'm here and I hear myself, but I'm not sure I hear me coming out of the system.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear me now? Okay, all righty. Then we're on. And I just want to say, hey, good afternoon to everybody, to Dr. Glenn, and to our listening audience, and also to our beautiful guest today. Her name is Christina Cherry. And we know that this month is Black History Month. This is our last week of Black History Month. Look, Dr. Glenn is trying to get, it looks like he wants to get back in here and say something and not let me finish my intro here. He's excited about the subject for today. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Glenn, and then I'm going to finish my intro.
Yeah, finish the intro. I want to say, she's an awesome young lady. She's a part of right there. She's a trailblazer. She received a trailblazer by the Chamber of Commerce. And so she's an awesome young lady. I'm going to hand it back to you.
Yes, so we were going to say all of those wonderful things, and I'm going to echo those things. She's an awesome young lady, but I was going to let her tell us herself. But we're grateful to hear about the Trailblazer Award. And I just want to say that I have been talking on the previous shows about making history and about trailblazers and how we only honor the people that are in the back from slavery and, Martin Luther King, the segregation age, and that history is still being made. And so today, we have proof of that. Even here on our show today, we have proof that history is still being made, that there are people that need to be recognized and honored for the great things that they're doing. And so today, we have a wonderful guest named Christina, and look, Dr. Glenn's trying to get in here. I'm sorry, we laugh on this show, Miss Christina, but Dr. Glenn's trying to get in here again before I get to turn it over. Dr. Glenn?
I don't want to forget about this, but I want to make this statement. There's something I want to talk about if we have time, but I don't want anybody to be offended. That is the town where white people were illegal. That was in Mississippi, in the town they named Mount Bayou. White people were illegal in that town in 1904. So I didn't want to forget about that. Also, we have commentary on the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. But let me get back over to Apostle and Miss Christine Terry.
Yes.
I don't interrupt again.
All right, for the third time here. I'm trying to start again. I know Dr. Glenn is very excited today as well as myself and our guest here today. I'm glad to hear of a trailblazer being recognized because now there's a lot of people that are making history. They're doing great things, but because they're not in the fight for equality or segregation back in the 70s or back in slavery time, we're not recognizing the people that have come up through the 70s, the people that have come up through the 80s. And now we're in the 2000s and we still have people of color that are doing great things, Black people. And if you get the chance, those of you that are listening to us by radio, get the chance, go watch her on Facebook. She's a beautiful young lady. So I'm going to not hold the microphone any longer. I am going to turn it over to Miss Cherry, Christina Cherry, and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself, and then I will have some questions for you. So I want Dr. Glenn Johnson. Show Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Williams. We welcome Miss Christina Cherry, and we're turning the mic over to you.
Hello, everybody. I am Christina Cherry. As she said, I'm a 23-year-old. I just recently graduated from Winston-Salem State University with my bachelor's in gerontology. My passion has always been helping people and in general, but I love older adults. And I'm now pursuing a master's degree in nursing at Duke University, which I'm very excited about starting.
Hey, that is so awesome. Did you hear that? This young lady is just 23 years old and she's going for her master's. And listen, I'm just amazed at her course of study that she's looking at gerontology. Can you tell us a little bit about, for those that may not know or understand that big word and what it means, can you tell us?
Gerontology is the study of aging, studying older adults, the ones that have dementia, Alzheimer's disease, how to handle them, and things of that such.
Wow, that is awesome. And she mentioned when she said older people, I thought I was included in that until she made that list of dementia and everything. I mean, who's gonna handle us?
I am an older adult. I am 65 years old, but I don't have dementia or Alzheimer's. But I do forget things every now and then. Like, for instance, I'll go look at my glasses one day. I just got in my car. I'm in the house, in the car, in the car, back and forth. Only 20 minutes later, I realize the glasses on the top of my head.
Wow. Well, I do forget too sometimes. I get a little brain fog, but I don't fit in that category. But I do think it's amazing that, Ms. Christina, that you are studying that. There's a lot of people that as they age, and I'm just being honest with you, that's one of my prayers that I pray. That I started praying at this age that I don't have those particular ailments and those particular, diseases. We don't know who, what, where, when, or how it happens all the time. There are some things that, people have medically said that these factors can add in, but then there's some people that don't fit that category. So, would you tell us about what made you want to go into the field of gerontology? Gerontology. I said gerontology. I gotta make sure I make that R in there. Gerontology.
Honestly, just growing up and just watching my mom and grandma care for my great grandparents and like that alone, and then just spending time with my own great grandparents and sitting and listening to them about the history. And I just really realized that like I really love older adults. And then like looking at this day and time and just seeing how a lot of older adults are treated in nursing homes or even hospitals, it's like I just want to make a change. I want to bring happiness to them and just allow them to feel like they can enjoy life. Like it's not the end.
I love that answer. I absolutely adore that answer. And I have to say this to you, and we are getting ready to run out of time. We're going to need to go on to a break in a minute or so. But I want to say this to you. You are very unique because there are a lot of young people that care less about older people. I mean, they're disrespectful. They will run over older people, cuss you out. I mean, if they're racing you to a parking space, they don't get out of their seat, or they don't respect older people like the generations that we knew previously. A lot of times they don't, and they'll harm an older person too. Sometimes we see those type of things out in the media. And so I want to say to you that you have a very special heart to care about elder people like that. And as you said, you watch your mother and grandmother take care of the older adults. And that was something that was imparted on the inside of you. So, hey, Dr. Glenn, we're getting ready to go out on our first break. And I want to invite you today that if you want to call in and be a part of this show, you can call in here to the studio. The number is 252-756 2008. I almost had a brain freeze. 252-756-2008. You can be live on the air right here with me and Dr. Glenn. And if you have any questions for Miss Christina Cherry, our nurse, that is our up-and-coming nurse and trailblazer, you can call in and you can ask those questions directly to her on the air. Hey, this is the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivation with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins Williams. We will be right back in a moment. This is Awesome Radio.
My name is Daniel out of Greenville. Thank you for listening to Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU.
Power News Radio Network. Author James Baldwin on the evidence of racism in the 1960s and now.
I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church that is white and a Christian church which is black. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter. I know I'm not in their union. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks they give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence.
2021 Black History Knowledge from the Power News Radio Network.
Coming soon to this network, mental health and substance use addiction. What is your conviction? Hello, my name is Apostle Gary Lee, and I'm a licensed clinical addiction specialist and the pastor of Spirit and Truth Worship Center. I will be the host, bringing you insight on the challenges of mental illness and substance use addiction and how they affect our communities. We will explore ways to address these issues with explaining treatment methods and spiritual enlightenment. I invite you to join us every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on this network. If you have any questions or would like to contribute or be a guest, please reach out to me via email at apostlegarylee@gmail.com. Again, that's apostlegarylee@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you and engaging with you concerning these issues, and I pray that God bless you and heaven continue to shine upon you.
You're listening to Awesome Radio, Christian Media, the spirit of excellence. Awesome Radio, yes, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivation with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Williams. Before I turn it back over to Apostle, I just have one question for Mr. Stephen. Mr. Christina, I know you're mad at Jesus from the historical society. My question to you is, have you ever been in front of a town council to introduce yourself and have you been recognized by the town council? What you do with the community and overdose?
Good question. No, sir, I have not been in front of the town council. I do know Back to Jesus through my grandmother, Nina Blunt. They've been best friends for a long time, and my grandma's a part of the Debate Robinson Alumni Association, and that's where I believe they connected.
Okay, I'm just gonna be short. The reason why I asked that question because the day that you appear at town council, because I make a lot of meetings at town council, I want to be there when you introduce yourself to town council in hopes to be recognized as a leader in the community. So thank you, Apostle.
Yes, that was a great question, Dr. Glenn. I was looking at a couple of comments online, got thrown off, but hey, I'm right back here and right back focused. I have several questions for this young lady. I'm just excited. I'm blown away, and I'm happy, to see her here and have such a great example for young people. And I say that because there's oftentimes where I come in contact with a lot of college students, and I'm like, wow. So I want to say to you and ask you right now, Miss Christina, how did you become so focused in such a positive area here with the gerontology? Did I say it right this time?
Gerontology.
Gerontology. I said it right this time. How did you become so focused at such a young age on this course of studies?
Honestly, just the determination of I just want to make a change, see the change. And also, I just had parents that pushed me to keep going despite of all the trials and tribulations I went through. And I really thank them for that. Because, of course, life goes hoops and turns and everything else, but my parents have been there through the way, and they have pushed me even when I felt like giving up. So.
I appreciate that so much, and I can identify with having the lack of when I was a young woman of not having that as far as school when it came to school. So nobody said go to college. Nobody said you should get up and get on the bus and go check out the colleges. Nobody said anything, and I want parents to know, even those that are listening and those that have influence over young people, to know that your input in pushing them is so important to get them to go into a certain direction or into directions into their life. I know I have grandbaby, and she's 16, 17 now. And I'm telling her, I'm sorry, ma'am, you're going to college. We've been saying it since she was in elementary school, you're going to college.
Yeah,
Dr. Glenn?
that's so true because growing up, where I grew up, we weren't told to go to college or anything like that. Just go get a job, do something, get a job. But my older sister, because I have one sister who's older than me, she was always in the corner of the college, but she wanted to go to a particular college in our community. There was Brookdale Community College, and then Monmouth College, which is now Monmouth University. So she went to Monmouth University, teaching at Brookdale. I have another cousin who attended Monmouth University, and she graduated not only with a master's degree, but she's also have a doctorate from Monmouth University. So, very thoughtful, and I'm glad you have the opportunity to do that.
So I want to say this just while we're on, because I don't want, sometimes people take things the wrong way. I'm not saying that getting a trade, I'm not saying, having a trade or going into a trade versus going to college or versus going into the military, that none of those are good paths. But what I'm saying to you, parents, is that you need to try to lead them into some kind of path. If the child is gifted in something, pursue that. Or they're not, encourage them to go to college, encourage them to go to the military, encourage them to do something with their life is what I'm trying to say. And I see when I heard that Miss Christina said that her parents push her, sometimes that's exactly what young people need. They need a push. Because if they're not showing the focus or they're not saying anything about it, you as a parent need to step in and say, what are we going to do here?
what's the plan here for your life? If you never ask them, they're never going to come up with anything. So I appreciate her telling us that her parents pushed her. And I think it's a very important part of how you've been successful, Miss Christina. And I'm just, let me say this, she got a Trailblazer Award at 23. At 23 years old, she received a Trailblazer Award. That is so powerful. How do you feel about getting or even being nominated for a Trailblazer Award? And I know there are many other young people out there that may be doing great things and they may be deserving, but they weren't chosen. You were chosen. So I want to ask you, how do you feel about receiving that award?
It honestly feels really great, honestly, at the age that I am. And then just knowing that I can share my story to these young people that don't have that push from their parents or don't have to push it off from anybody, whether it's a grandma, grandpa, whoever, and that I can share my story to encourage them to keep going, even as an African American, to keep going and just do what you love. So.
I just want to mention something before we go to the break, because then we'll be back with our final 30 minutes of today's broadcast. But I want to mention something to Apostle when she mentioned about being pushed, and some people were chosen to go to the military, things like that. So I want to explain something about the military. A lot of people are afraid to go to the military. They want to go for education, but they don't want to necessarily go to war. If a war breaks out, if you join the military, let me tell you, you can best believe if a war breaks out, you're more inclined to go to war. You will be activated and be a part of it. But the good thing about it is, once you exit your service time, you have the opportunity to become a substitute teacher. Because now, any military member who already discharged could qualify to become a substitute teacher.
Yeah.
We have one right here in County.
And let me say this too, talking about military, and I know we're going, and I'm going to bring it very, very quickly back to the subject at hand and back to what we're focusing on. But I mean, our leadership over this country, with that flip mouth, we might end up in some trouble. We might end up in a war. You got to think about twice about it right now, about whether you want to go in. Yeah. I'm just sorry, Jacqueline, I have to tell the truth.
He is the commander in chief, and all those in the military is under the authority of the commander in chief. But if I was in it, I would have to find a way to do something about it.
Yes. And we're not telling you to abandon, but we're just telling you, you better be aware of what you get into in this hour. Hey, it looks like we're getting ready to come back to another break here. We have just a minute or so before we go to that break. And we are, again, very happy to have our guest, Miss Christina Cherry here, who's 23 years old, and she is going after her master's in gerontology. I said it right this time again. It does. I said it right, and then the last time I said it wrong. So we're really happy to have her here, this trailblazer who received a Trailblazer Award. And let me say too, Dr. Glenn here, our own Dr. Glenn, received a Trailblazer Award at that particular ceremony as well. He's a trailblazer as well, and that was a very powerful thing. Look, Dr. Glenn, I'm turning it over to him because I know you want to say something, and we're getting ready to go to a break. Go ahead.
I'm going to remain silent this time.
Hey, we're getting ready to go out on the break. And again, if you want to call in, you can call in and talk to our guest if you have any questions for this lovely young lady. We're glad she graced this program today, that she's here to give some encouragement. And I'm being encouraged just hearing her story. I'm like, oh, we need this in our lives. We need to hear some positive things from our young people. We need to see some that are going somewhere and get behind them. I'm going to sow into her life. You watch what I tell you. Hey, we're going out on a break, and we'll be right back in a moment. Awesome Radio.
Silver Sisters United invites everyone to a community prayer Saturday, February 28th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at A Touch of God's Presence Ministries, 1300 Dickinson Avenue, Grayville. For more information and how to get involved, contact us at 252-695-9007 or 252-427-2892. A community prayer February 28th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at A Touch of God's Presence Ministries. Host and speaker, Apostle Valeria McLeod. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man, woman, availeth much. James 5 and 16. Community prayer, February 28th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at A Touch of God's Presence Ministries.
Hello, my name is Daniel Green. We appreciate you for listening to Awesome Radio.
Awesome radio. Yes. Awesome.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Glenn Johnson Show. Motivation with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Williams. We have reached our final 30 minutes of the broadcast. So I want to let back to Apostle and our special guest, Mrs. Christina Terry, because I want her to have the opportunity to give more about such a piece of her story, her testimony, if you will. Then we're going to use the final 10 minutes to talk about a couple of issues, including Reverend Jesse Jackson, late Reverend Jesse Jackson, including a young man, what's his name, Apostle?
Samuel Washington.
Samuel Washington. And then the town where no white people were the town where white people were illegal. And I hope nobody gets offended by that, but it is a part of Black history. I would like to discuss it. So without further ado, as Apostle Jacqueline Williams and our special guest, Miss Christina Terry.
Yes, I have a few more questions for our guest, and I know she's going to be able to answer these very with precision because she knows all about our story. I wanted to ask you here personally. It says here in one of the bios concerning you that you grew up in Winterville here. And I don't know, I'm a transplant. I came here from the West. So tell me what it's like to grow up here in Winterville or in the Winterville area.
Honestly, growing up in Winterville, I've always loved this small little town. All my family's around. Knowing that my grandparents actually grew up in Winterville. My grandma, my great grandma. Actually, my parents just built a house on my great grandma's land. So, it's very exciting. I'm a family person, and I just love being surrounded by family. And even when I went away to college, my friends and stuff was like, "Oh, are you gonna move away to go somewhere else?" I'm like, "Oh, I think I want to go back home where my family is." So I love it.
That is awesome to hear someone that loves where they came from. I couldn't wait to get away from where I came from.
That brings me to this point. I'm a man born and raised up north.
Okay.
To be sure, and I live in Philadelphia. I cannot imagine, and I'm no disrespect to the people of Philadelphia, but I cannot imagine you in a big major city such as Philadelphia, where there's a lot of hustle, bustle, and a lot of crime. I cannot imagine you there.
Well, I'm saying to you, young lady, don't fail to visit those places because the shopping is amazing. Maybe you may not want to live there, but go and visit and eat a hot dog from the vendor. It is something to go visit other places.
Yeah, that's nice. But like I said, I don't want to disrespect anybody or give a bad mark on Philadelphia. But if you go, just take a couple people with you.
All right.
You're gonna be fine because you'll be in the mall and you'll be shopping. Okay. Let's look here. I have another question that I just asked you was leading to this question. And I wanted you to tell us about you mentioned this in your intro as well. Tell us about some of the obstacles that you had to overcome in order to be considered this trailblazer and do these amazing things that you're doing through school and being recognized. What has it been? I know it's been easy for you, right? I know you've had everything given to you on a silver platter and a silver spoon. You were just born with all of these advantages that you just want to tell us about today. I know that's not true. So I want you to tell us about some of the obstacles and the struggle that you have had to go through at such a young age.
Well, that you asked that question, I was actually diagnosed with ADD at a young age. I believe it was like first grade, where my attention span was very low. I struggled to focus in class. I would get distracted easily. And it started to affect my grades. I was then later put on medication to help me, but the medication was doing more harm than good for my body.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I know a God that I serve, and I know that He can bring me through this. And He did. I got off that medication, and it took me longer than others to understand things. I had to go to tutor and things of that nature, but I did what I had to do to be able to overcome that, and that I'm proud of.
Wait a minute. I'm proud with you. And you talked about how God delivered you. Don't start us in here to giving God praise. Because when I hear you say that you were healed from it or you were delivered from it and you got off the medicine, do you know how many kids are diagnosed with ADD? There sometimes it's being used as whatever for behavior, this, that, and the other. And to hear you say that you did need some extra help as far as tutoring, but you were able to get off the medicine, there's somebody today that needs to hear that message. To hear that God is a healer and that He can help you overcome it. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people that choose to keep the child or stay on the medicine, but I'm saying that there is a way and there's a testimony here that is saying that God did it for us. I don't know about you, but that bless my soul. I know that everybody listening to this broadcast needs to hear that, and especially parents that have children that they are saying, sometimes it seems like they're throwing those labels around all over the place, and they're medicating so many kids when there are some parents that are standing that refuse to do it. And I thank God for hearing that testimony. I've asked you many things, but is there anything that you especially would like to tell us today? And I have one more question outside of that. I want to say, what advice would you give to those of us that are aging? What advice do you have for us? As in the medical field, I'm not saying you can diagnose or prescribe, but what advice in general would you have to give to those of us that are aging?
The advice that I have to give to the ones that are aging is to keep living, continue to keep God first, and don't let the troubles of this world stop you or lead you down into depression or anything. Honestly, when you get older, you've done a lot. Like I look at my grandma, how she's like cared for her kids, her grandkids, and that was her time to chill and relax, to enjoy her life, to travel, to be able to pour into herself. And that's the advice that I would give for the older people, like just enjoy life.
I agree, and I have one comment to make to that extent. You have to also remember you have lived longer than the remaining amount of time that you have to live.
Well, that's to the older people. Now her, she got many miles on her. She's down this road, okay? 27 years old.
Yeah, but me being 65 and other people, I can imagine living another 65 years.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to be up there and I'm going to act up with it. I'm going to have my right mind and a smart mouth. I can't wait.
But if God chooses to send me down that path, I'm going to accept it with all the glory, joy, and mercy that I can.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be 200 years old.
Well, you do. We do. Many of us have many more years behind us than we do in front of us. But I do enjoy and I hear that advice. And I want us to take heed to that advice. And she said, enjoy life. Enjoy life. Do what makes you happy. Enjoy life. I love that sentiment. And I took it as my own personal motto at one time in my life, that I am going to enjoy life. It was my personal motto to change some things because of some hardships that I went through in the past. And I said, I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to do what makes me happy and enjoy life. Hey, Dr. Lynn, is there anything else that you want to add or ask this beautiful young lady while we're on the air? Because I think we're getting down towards our last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we are. We have 20 minutes remaining after this break. We'll take us out the break.
Hey, we're getting ready to go out for this break. You still have time to get on the phone and call in and ask some questions of this beautiful young lady, Miss Christina Cherry.
And here, right here on the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins Williams, that phone number is 252-756-2008. Call in and you'll be live on the air right here on Awesome Radio. And so we are going out on this break, but we want you to hang in there because Dr. Glenn mentioned some things that are a great cliffhanger. We want you to hang on to the end of the show and hear the conclusion of the matter. We will be right back in a moment. Come on back and talk to this young lady.
Awesome Radio Network is gearing up for our annual Mother's Day and Father's Day gift bag giving for the residents at McGregor Downs Health Center. $10 will sponsor one bag. If you would like to donate towards this community event, contact us 252-756-3137. And together we can show the love of Jesus, encourage and brighten the hearts of the residents during their stay at the McGregor Downs Health Center, Greenville. Donors' name and organization can be attached to the cards if desired. To learn more about this annual community event, contact us at 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are a 501c3 organization under Community Care Fellowship doing business as Awesome Radio Network, where God gets glory.
Hey, we're right back here live. And we had a caller on the line, and I want to say to that caller, call right back in. Don't hang up because we need to hear what you have to say to this beautiful young lady on today. Call right back. Don't hang up. Call us right back. We're waiting on you. We need to hear. And I know she's going to be very honored and humble to hear your question. There it is. We have a caller on the line.
Calling back. Calling you live on the air on the Glenn Johnson Show.
Tell them to turn your radio down because we're hearing the echo.
Turn your radio down. We hear the echo.
Okay, this is Matt.
Oh, man, Jesus, right here.
Okay.
You want to comment on this?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Okay, they can hear me on the radio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Johnson, for the stop. Yes, we are. You received an award too because you were about trailblazers.
That's right. And we see what you guys have mentioned. I'm a role star here on Awesome Radio. We appreciate that.
Yeah, that's an art society corporation. They are into honoring, recognizing our trailblazers, our Winterville Black trailblazers. We can talk about the world trailblazers, but we have right here in our town that we want to recognize.
Absolutely.
Christina was given the trailblazers spotlight. She said a young child and a young lady. That day when we had a program, she was 22 years old. Her birthday was the next day.
And I actually got about that. She was a trailblazer spotlight.
Yes. Yes.
And that spotlight to it.
Yes. And when she was telling her story, she was telling her story. I think it's fine. I am one day with me to help the caregiver.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to have to depend on Christina to have someone that will live there with me. And I don't want to be on one that's going to just be out there for the money. And then, you know, in our old age, sometimes we repeat things over and over and over. I don't want to do young kids that say to me, oh, shut up, you don't say that 100 times, you'll pass.
They might think it though.
while they have a wild party in my house. I believe by Christine studying our sickness and how to care for us. I believe I'm going to be the longest living person in the town of Whitneyville.
And
Yes,
Mr.
the longest one in Winter.
and Mr. Jesus,
Yes.
I don't know if you heard earlier. I had posed a question to Miss Christina. The question was, has she been introduced to the Winterville Town Council and even recognized by the Winterville Town Council for what she does in the community?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. That's when I get together. That's good.
Absolutely. I think so. I'm on board. You know I'm on board.
Oh, right.
We have 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes to go to this next segment. Then we'll be back with our final 10 minutes. Apostle.
Yes.
Thank you.
She's hanging up. I was going to ask her something, but anyhow, we're going to move on from that because she's already disconnected. But we're grateful to hear, and I'm going to change how I said it. You didn't just get the Trailblazer Award. You got the spotlight. Make that correction with us. The spotlight Trailblazer Award. Other people got the award, but you got the spotlight.
Yeah, I got the award.
And that's a very powerful place to be.
And I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm glad she did. I wasn't there, so I didn't hear it like that. I would have mentioned that directly right away. But we're so glad again and grateful. Dr. Glenn has something he wants to say.
But like Mr. Jesus said, we're going to make it possible for you to be introduced at town council and be recognized for what you do to the community.
Right.
That is a very powerful thing because this is making history. And they're going to make sure that you're recognized for the positive thing that you're bringing forth and being an example for other young people. A lot of times I think, people think that to be an example for other people that you have to be absolutely perfect. And so we know that at 20-some years old, you have room to make mistakes. We all have made some, and we still make some. Tell us very quickly about something that you learned from a mistake, because everybody made some.
Good question. In college, I dealt with some bullying from a professor, and she tried to stop me, but she didn't because I'm standing here today. And honestly, through that whole situation, I learned that no matter what people say you cannot do or who you can't be, you can be that person. You don't listen to people when they say you will not be able to do this, you will not be able to do that. Just continue to, you know who you are, and stand on that word.
Definitely. And I mean, I think even last Saturday I talked about whatever you're doing something that God has ordained or graced you for, there's going to be an adversary, and there's going to be some, some adverse things that are going to come towards you for whatever you're doing. And I'm glad to hear you say that even at 20-something, you had to go over something. I think I asked that question. What, some obstacles you had to get over in order, to continue in school. Dr. Glenn?
I think that I just contact the governor's office along with the mayor of Winterville and propose that there be a Christian Cherry Day for the state of Christian Cherry. Because if there's a proclamation in your name, that means you're a significant person who has done tremendous things in the community. That's what a proclamation is all about. So I'll look to propose both of those to the town of Winterville and to the state of North Carolina.
All right.
That is a very powerful thing. Because I'm not from here, I don't know all the things, but it sounds like a very high honor. They're gonna give you a day. Let me know so I come out there and dance with you.
Yeah, right.
I'll be out there.
I'll be out there dancing too because I'll be one of proposing it. I know how to structure a proposal, so I'll see if I can get that accomplished. We have 2 minutes to go before we go to the next break. Then we'll be back with our final 10 minutes.
Yes.
One thing I want to mention about the Reverend Jesse Jackson is one of the things that was in his medical history is that he had super aggressive, super nuclear palsy. I know all about cerebral palsy. A lot of people say cerebral palsy, but I believe it's pronounced cerebral palsy. But he has cerebral palsy. His were progressive, super nuclear. I have one particular document on that I did with me, but that was one of the causes of his death. Super progressive, super nuclear palsy, PSD.
Yes,
Dr.
Dr.
Glenn,
Glenn,
and
and
I
I
know
know
we're
we're
getting
getting
ready
ready
to
to
go
go
to
to
our
our
last
last
10
minutes
minutes
as
as
you
you
shifted
shifted
us
us
over
over
to
to
this.
this.
I
I
want
want
to
to
thank
thank
our
our
guests.
guests.
But
But
I
I
wanted
wanted
to,
to,
this
this
week
week
I
I
was
was
talking
talking
about
about
this
this
with
Jesse
Jesse
Jackson.
Jackson. And
And
one
one
of
of
the
the
things
things
that
that
I
I
said,
said,
and
and
it
it
may
may
not be
not be
popular,
popular,
or
and
maybe
maybe
people
people
may
may
not
not
see it
see it
this
this
way.
way.
But,
But
we
we
got
got
another
another
caller.
caller.
They
They
want
want
to
to
talk
talk
to
to
Miss
Miss
Christina.
Christina.
Dr. Glenn, and I know we're getting ready to go to our last thing as we shifted us over to this. I want to thank our guests. But I wanted to, this week I was talking about, it was a question I wanted to ask you. And one of the things that I said is, it may not be popular, or maybe people may not see it this way, but, we got another caller, babe.
Wait,
Wait,
we
we
got
got
an
an
echo
echo
that's
that's
coming
coming
in,
in,
caller.
caller.
Caller,
Caller,
can you
can you
turn
turn
down
down
whatever
whatever
device
device
you're
you're
listening
listening
to
to
us
us
on
on
because
because
we
we
just
just
got a
got a
bad
bad
echo
echo
coming
coming
in?
in?
And
And
could you
could you
hold
hold
on
on
and
and
stay
stay
on the
on the
line
line
because
because
we're
we're getting
getting ready
ready
to
to
go
go
out
out
on
on
a
a
break.
break.
We
We
have
have
a
a
few
few
seconds,
seconds
and
and
we
we
definitely
definitely
want to
want to
get
get
you
you
on
on
and
and
hear
hear
what
what
you
you
have
have
to
to
say.
say.
This
This
is
is
the
the
Glenn
Glenn
Johnson
Johnson
Show
Show
right
right
here
here
on
on
Awesome
Awesome
Radio.
Radio.
Hang
Hang
on,
on
and
and
we'll
we'll
be
be
back.
back in a moment.
Call back.
Hello, my name is Dr. Wiley Nifong. Thank you for listening to Awesome Radio.
Awesome radio. Yes. Awesome. Can you feel it?
Youth Explosion at A Touch of God's Presence Ministries, 1300 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville, empowering the next generation. March 14th, beginning 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Guest speakers Elijah Mitchell and Elder Alvin Watkins. Everyone is invited to attend. For more information, contact us at 252-694-252-694-900-7. Pastor Apostle Valeria McLeod. Youth Explosion, empowering the next generation. March 14th, beginning 2 p.m. at A Touch of God's Presence Ministries, 1300 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
Thank you for listening to the Awesome Radio Network. Visit us online, awesomeradionetwork.org. Choose the station you would like to listen to on the radio dial or online. Awesome Radio.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller, caller, are you still there? Caller, caller.
Hey, if our caller is
Hey, if
not
our
on the
caller
line,
is
I'm going
not
to
on the
ask you
line,
to
I'm going
call
to ask
back.
you to
I
call
know
back. I
we were
know
trying to
we
shift
were
the
trying to
subject,
shift
but
the
I know you
subject,
want
but
to
I
talk
know you want to
to
talk
Miss
to
Christina
Miss
Cherry
Christina
today.
Cherry
So if you
today.
want
So
to
if you
have that
want to have
question,
that
we
question,
still
we
have
still
time.
have
Please
time. Please
call us right
call us
back
right
now
back
in the
now in
studio
the
and we'll
studio,
get
and
you
we'll get
on
you on
so you
so
can
you
be
can
able
be able
to
to
talk to this
talk to
young
this young
lady or
lady or
whatever it is
whatever it
that
is
you
that
have
you
to
have to
say or
say or
question. I
question.
don't care
I
if
don't
you
care
just
if you
want to
just
do a
want to
shout
do a
out.
shout out.
Call us
Call
right
us
back
right
and
back,
we're
and we're
ready. We're
ready.
done
We're
with our
done with our
break.
break.
We'll
We'll
take you
take you
live on.
live
I
on.
just
I
want
just
to
want to
let you
let
know
you
that
know
you
that
will
you
be
will be
live
live
on the
on the
radio
radio,
and you
and
need
you
to
need to
turn
turn
down
down
your
your
device
device
because
because
you
you
can
can
hear
hear
it.
it.
Hey,
Hey,
there's
there's
our
our
caller.
caller.
We
We
have
have
a
a
caller
caller
on
on
the
the
line.
line.
If you want, so you can be able to talk to this young lady or whatever it is that you have to say or question. I don't care if you just want to do a shout out. Call us right back and we're ready. We're done with our break. We'll take you back on.
Hey,
Hey,
to
to
our
our
caller,
caller,
can you
can you
turn
turn
down
down
your
your
device
device
because
because
we're
we're
getting
getting
a
a
feedback
feedback
here
here
in
in
the
the
studio?
studio.
How about that?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you
you
now.
now.
This is Matt. I hung up before you can ask me a question. You can hear me.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So
So
it
it's
is
the
the Jesus.
Jesus.
And
And
look,
look,
now
now
that
that
you
you
called
called
back,
back,
I
I
forgot what I was going to ask you, but it was something
just
about
it was something
when
about
you
when you
said
said
you
you
wanted to
wanted to
be
be
the
the
oldest
oldest
person
person
in
in
Winter.
and
And I
I
was
was
going to
gonna
ask
ask
something
something
like,
like,
well,
well,
what do
what do
you
you
want
want
us
us
to
to
do
do
with
with
that?
that?
Christina's gonna look out for me. She's gonna make sure that I I be the oldest, she gonna send the best caregiver, somebody that really understand old people.
And you're gonna be the oldest and the most well taken care of if you get her as a caregiver.
Yes, yes, she's so sweet.
All right, Mr. Jesus, thank you for calling us back here. We really appreciate it.
You know, I like humor. So I'm going to remove myself from asking you this next question because it's going to be quite humorous. So I'll just see the person about it.
All right.
All right, thank you for calling that.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Ladies.
Hey, Dr. Glenn, was there one more caller besides that one? If you want to still call in and you have something that you would like to say to Miss Christina right here, we have a few more minutes left, and you could call right back. I think we had 2 calls.
I think they won.
It was one? It was just twice. Okay. Okay, just feedback. Hey, we did hear a little bit of feedback today, but we're took care of it. We want to let you know that when you do call in, turn down your device. Dr. Glenn, do you have anything else? We have our last few minutes, or you want to go back to Jesse?
If you want to I just put all my stuff in my book bag.
Yeah, okay, listen. I said this last week about Jesse Jackson. I just wanted to share this a little bit. And I felt like, you know, we had Obama as an African American, not someone that came up through slavery. And I felt like that if we had gotten Jesse, who, look, that caller is on the line. I'm going to keep my Jesse comment until next week.
Caller, you're live on the air on the Glenn Johnson Show. Caller.
Hello, this is the Pepperman calling.
Hey, Pepperman, Mike, what's that?
Hey, much going on, man. I just picked up the station just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I had to hear your show because I was in a bad area and the static was there.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got in a clear area, I called.
Good.
Just to say hello, and I know it's about time for y'all to close. So you and Apostle Williams, I hope y'all are having a very, very blessed day.
I want to thank you for calling. We had a special guest today, but you can go to YouTube or Facebook Live and you can watch the broadcast. Thank you for calling.
Okay, I'm still going to get with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a blessed day.
Hey, thank you so much, Pepperman, for calling in. That's one of our regular callers who calls in, and I know he's going to enjoy going back to look at this show and watching our beautiful guest that we have here today. I'm going to take a second and just ask her, is there anything else that you want the people to know about you, or anything that we didn't ask you that you may want to express? I'm going to give you just some more time so you can tell us some things, or if there's something you want to put out there that you may have not, that we may have not asked you.
Something I just want to say is continue to keep God first, and that His plans are far better than you can imagine.
That's right. See, I love that.
Yes.
Young people with a heart that's not embarrassed or ashamed to talk about God. I love that thing. That touches my heart right there. Because serve the Lord from the time of your youth is something you can look back on, and you can, I mean, out of all the awards that you're going to get and all the honors that people are going to honor you, and even talking about getting you into some type of society there on a proclamation and getting you a day. One of the best things that you'll be able to look back on when you get older and say, I served the Lord and loved Him from the time I was a young woman. And that is a very, very powerful thing. And I want to keep on keeping on. And if you ever need a word of encouragement, call me. I mean, I'm available, Dr. Glenn and myself. We thank you for coming on here and being a positive light in this time and in this season where there's darkness going on. And so I want to thank you for coming on the show and for representing Black people well.
I'm going to say one final thing. That's why I propose that proclamation from the town of Waterville and from the governor for the state of North Carolina. But I want to explain something. That proclamation is a proclamation for people who have been extraordinary and in the community But there's a difference between being successful and significant. You know, everybody can be successful, but to be significant, you have done something or left a lasting impression on somebody or someone.
I want to take time to thank God for his grace on your life
because
because there are people that have education and they're laying somewhere homeless.
and
And
God,
God, they have the education,
but
but
because
because
of
of
God's
God's
grace,
grace
or
or
they
they
lack
lack
something
something
in
in
that
that
area,
area,
they're
they're
not
not standing in it.
and
And
so
so
it's
it's
something
something
to
to
have
have
the
the
education
education
and
and
the
the
grace
grace
to
to
carry
carry
it
it
out.
out.
And
And
that's
that's
what I
what I
see
see
you
you
doing.
doing.
You're
You're
going to
going to
be
be
able
able
to
to
have
have
the
the
grace
grace
to
to
carry
carry
it
it
out
out
and
and
to
to
go
go
on
on
and
and
do
do
what you
what
declare
you
to
declared to
do.
do.
So
And
I'm
so I'm
grateful
grateful
to
to
see
see
God's
God's
grace
grace
and His
and his
glory.
glory. This
Girl
girl
wearing
wearing
the
the
glory.
glory on her.
I can
I can
see
see
it.
it. She
She's
just
glowing
glowing
and
and
she
she
just
just
has
has
the
the
glory on
glory on
her.
her.
And
And
that's
that's
a
a
good,
good,
healthy
healthy
glow.
glow.
And
And
that's
that's
good
good
to
to
see
see
on
on
our
our
young
young
people.
people.
You know,
You
a
know, a
lot of
lot
them,
of
you
them, you
see
see
them,
them, they
got
got
another
another
glow
glow
on
on
them.
them.
They
They
drunk,
drunk,
they
they
doing
doing
all, they
they
smoking
smoking
some
some things,
things,
they
laying
laying
out
out
for
for
everybody.
everybody.
So
So
it's
it's
good
good
to
to
see
see
a
a
positive
positive
young
young
woman
woman
who
who
looks
looks
like
like
she's
she is
doing
doing
such a
such a
great
great
positive
positive
thing
thing
in
in
our
our
community.
She
community.
is absolutely doing a great thing.
Yes.
Yes.
To tell her one of a slice of the good life.
Yes, Dr. Glenn, we're getting ready to end. Do you want to end our program?
Please.
Hey,
Hey, we
I
want to
say
say
to
to
you,
you,
first
first
of
of
all,
all,
again,
again,
one
one
more
more
time
time,
as
as
we're
we're
getting
getting
ready to
ready to
close.
close,
I
I
want
want
to
to
thank
thank
our
our
guest,
guest
and I
and I
want to
want to
thank
thank
Dr.
Dr.
Glenn
Glenn
for
for
bringing
bringing
her
her
because
because
now
now
I've
I've
gotten
gotten
a
a
chance
chance
to
to
meet
meet
her,
her. And,
and
I
I
know
know
that
that
I'm
I'm better,
better
and
and
my
my
life
life
is
is
a
a
little
little
better
better
just
just
by
by
meeting
meeting
her
her
and
and
hearing
hearing
the
the
things
things
that
that
are
are
positive.
positive. I'm
I'm encouraged,
encouraged
and
and
I
I
feel
feel
so
so
awesome
awesome
about
about
this
this
particular
particular
broadcast.
broadcast.
I
I
want to
want to
say to
say
you,
to you,
share
share
this
this
with
with
somebody.
somebody.
Dr.
Dr.
Glenn is
Glenn is
coming
coming
back
back
Yeah, I just want to mention one more thing. Because of what she does, I recently indicated her to contact someone at the Brain Injury Association Carers online virtual meeting every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So we'll be looking at that because I joined them that meeting sometime also.
Okay.
Yes, we are down to our last few minutes, our last few seconds, and we want to thank all of our listening audience today for listening, even to our callers out there, even to the lady that wants to live to be the oldest person in Winterville. I want to meet her and shake her hand. But hey, we want to ask you to come right back here on next week. We are going to have some more interesting topics. You don't know who we're going to have on, and we're going to get Pepper Man on here very, very soon on one of our shows. He's going to be on there. Hey, this is the Glenn Johnson Show, and you're listening to us on Awesome Radio. We will see you on next week. Thank you again for listening.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
I told you.
Yes, ma'am. It was good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Check my phone. Make sure I keep up.
Dr. Glenn, we still live. We still live.
Yeah, I know I'm waiting.
Are we muted?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can talk even though we're not.
Oh, okay.